Well, at the round table, we have our special guest today. Again, the first Thursday in May has been declared, if you will, if I can use that word, is the National Day of Prayer. From World Harvest Church is Brad Mendenhall. Do we call you pastor? Do we call you Brad? What's the official?
Good, thank you. How are you?
We don't say hey you, but what do we?
You know, whatever you want to call me is good. Just don't call me late for dinner.
I need that. Yeah, I like don't call me late for dinner because I'm interested in the food stuff.
There you go, brother.
Very good. Well, Brad, thanks for joining us today. Little background information on the history, if you will, on the National Day of Prayer. That in 1952, in place was a law requiring the president to proclaim the National Day of Prayer each year to be the first Thursday in May. And then the law states this: the president shall issue each year a proclamation designating the first Thursday in May as the National Day of Prayer, on which the people of the United States may turn to God in prayer and meditation at churches, in groups, and as individuals. Public Law 105-225. I did not realize, Brad, that it was a law. I just kind of thought it was part of history. It was something we did on the first Thursday of May.
Yeah.
What else am I missing about some of the history of this?
It's very interesting. Of course, our nation was founded really upon a belief that there was a God, and then God was calling the people to establish this nation. So prayer has always been a part of the foundation of our nation for so many years. But it was very interesting that in 1952, you had to pardon my voice, been dealing with a little bit of sore throat this week. But during a Billy Graham crusade back in early 1952, Billy Graham made this statement. Said, what would it be like if all of our nation would rally together around a prayer? What could God do and what would happen with our nation? And it was a couple of senators that was inspired by that went back to Congress and wrote a bill to establish a National Day of Prayer. And it was in April of 1952 that President Truman signed into law what you just read to us. And it was in that first Thursday of May of 1952 that our nation began to rally together formally, and just to everybody that believed in prayer to come together for that one day to pray for the good of our nation.
When I did just some brief research, I had no idea back in the early 50s.
Yeah.
And what can you tell us about the Enid event?
We're excited this year to host the National Day of Prayer observance with the Enid Ministerial Alliance at World Harvest Church. We're out on South Garland Road, back behind Lowe's and Walmart. We had that great opportunity and been blessed to build a new facility out there. We've been in it for about 1.5 years now. So we're inviting all the churches, all the community of faith to come out and join us tonight, starting at 7 o'clock. Going to keep it right at an hour there, just to join together as a unified body of believers here in this Enid region, and just really seeking God's face and just praying for the welfare of our nation, the welfare of our state, and then of course the welfare of this region and our city that we so love.
And just to clarify for those that are joining us right now at the round table, who will be leading this event and who will be participating?
Well, as far as participation, we're hoping that everybody that has a belief in prayer will participate. Those that will be leading the event, it's going to be led by various leaders from our community. We're excited to have our mayor, Bill Shuey, will be really closing out our night with an evening, a moment of prayer there. But we have our sheriff, our great sheriff, Jerry Niles, our Garfield County Sheriff will be there. Enid High football coach, Steve Hayes, will be there to lead us in a prayer. We're excited about that. We also have Rabbi Rick Cohen from the Yad El Messianic congregation. He'll be there leading us in a prayer for Israel. That's one thing that we embrace, is really supporting Israel, because we see it in Scripture there. And we have a few other pastors from the community, from some other churches around, that will be leading. Again, this is a Ministerial Alliance event, so our president, Leslie Broadbent, our outgoing president, Leslie Broadbent, will be there, who's the pastor at Willowview Methodist Church. And then Eric Granberg, we're excited about him. He's our incoming president from North Garland Church of Christ, and he's going to be leading. And we got a few others in there, too, that will be leading.
Very good. Our special guest this morning on Good Morning Enid here at 7:47 at the round table from World Harvest Church, Brad Mendenhall. Brad, here's a kind of a two-part question. You talked a little bit about the Ministerial Alliance, the different representation. Tell us kind of the function, if you will, of the Ministerial Alliance, because I think it's important for people to know that it's not a one-church event or focus. I mean, it's a collected group with this Ministerial Alliance. Then the second part of the question is, if you're in town for Tri-State, you're in town for the concert, you're just in Enid, how can the public participate? Or what is the expectation? said, well, I don't know where World Harvest is, and what
You
we
bet.
want to go, but what do we do?
You bet,
So-
you bet. Well, first of all, the Enid Ministerial Alliance, the whole purpose of that is to bring really unity to the many churches. There's 80-some churches here in this Enid area. And, we all, are unique in style, just like churches are like people. They all have their own personalities. But the Ministerial Alliance is meant to really help bring a unified movement, an organizing of the churches here in Enid, Oklahoma, together. And this event tonight, this is not just a one church event, but it's open for all. And so the Enid Ministerial Alliance is just a way to help facilitate the coming together of the different faiths and different churches in the community there. We happen to be hosting it. We've done this in the years past down at the courthouse gazebo over the lunch hour. It's always been tough, with as busy the day goes, to get people to come out. So we're doing this evening event tonight at World Harvest Church, and it's just World Harvest. We're just facilitating it and hosting it there. But we invite everybody to come out. Those that are part of other churches, not even a part of a church. Maybe, like you said, those that are visiting here in town, we invite them to come out and be a part. We're going to have a little bit of worship music there also during the prayer times. But, whether you're on stage or not, there is, I believe, power in unity and power in numbers as we come together. So if people want to come and just, sit in the congregation and pray quietly, that's a way to participate there also. And I think just by showing up also, it shows support. And there's power in that. We think we've all heard it, especially living in a ranching culture in this area. There's power in the herd. There's power in the group there.
So you've done a great job answering, what will people do this evening. How long has this been going on in the community? We say 1952 for the National Day of Prayer and the emphasis to get this going, but bring it closer to home.
Okay.
Do you know?
This January will be my 20th year in Enid. I know I don't look that old, do I? To be here that long. But
Started in the 8th grade?
Yeah, I
Is that
think
it?
so. Yeah.
8th or 9th, 8th or 9th grade? You said 8th or 9th grade right there.
But it has been going on here in Enid ever since I have been here for the last going on 20 years that I know of. And from what I know of the history of the Enid community, the faith community, I believe there has been a movement of it that has been going on for quite some time.
Okay.
Well, Brad, thank you very much for visiting with us this morning. Contact information, the event will be held.
Yes, at World Harvest Church, which is on South Garland Road. If you know where Lowe's and Walmart's at, that's a great identifier right there. But just go on the road that splits Lowe's and Walmart, just go south there about a half a mile. And we're right there, right in the middle of the wheat field, World Harvest Church at 1419 South Garland Road. Starts at 7 o'clock. Our goal is to be done around 8 o'clock this evening.
Very good. Brad, thank you for
Thanks
joining
again.
us this morning
Thank
at the
you.
round
Thank
table.
you for allowing me to be here.
National Day of Prayer being celebrated locally here at World Harvest Church. 7 o'clock tonight, as Brad said. Again, at World Harvest Church there, 1419 South Garland Road, 7 o'clock, so keep that in mind. Can we mention the phone number as well? If somebody
Certainly.
has a and that number is?
Certainly, 580-234-4474.
So if you have questions about the event or directions or whatever,
You bet.
234-4474. The round table this morning, Brad Mendenhall. Thank you again.
Thank you, Steve.
Appreciate
Thanks
all
again.
this
Have a great day.
information.
Thank you.
Yes.